Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a favorites or hated for the month of November, and sort of a couple months before, since I haven't done one of these in a while. Just letting you guys know it's going to be more palette heavy, since that's mainly what I gravitate towards when I go buy makeup is eyeshadow palettes and less of the other stuff, since I already have a bunch of other favorites in other categories. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing is the Essence Volume Mist Mascara. I really like it. I have a whole review on it already. I will link it in like a little card above. I just really like the volume it gives. It doesn't flake on me or do any of the weird stuff throughout the day, and it goes on really nicely. I don't have to try to separate it with my other mascara wand or anything. I just really like the formula. It is starting to get a bit clumpy on the brush. I might just be running out of it since I use it all the time, so I will definitely have to pick it up again. It's only like $5, and it's definitely worth it. Alright, the next favorite of the month is the Tarte Shape Tape. I know this has been in another favorites of mine, but I finally got the correct shade that I need, which is light neutral instead of light sand, so it works 10 times better and a lot easier, and that's just why it's another favorite. It does crease on me if I don't set it right away, so it's that, but it's a lot of coverage and it does last throughout the day. After I set it with powder, it doesn't crease anymore. What I got next, it was actually in my Ipsy bag for the month of November, and it's the Tarte blush in the shade Feisty, and it's what I have on today. It's kind of a more coral kind of shade. It's definitely really pretty. I really like this a lot. It blends out really nicely and it lasts on my skin all day. Even though it does say 12 hours, it definitely lasts on my skin a bit longer than 12. Up next is an eyeshadow primer. So I have been using the Milani one for a while, but it's kind of oily and watery. I don't know if it just went bad, but I did run out of it and throw it away. So my new eyeshadow primer is actually from MAC, and it's the Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I do like this one, and I still do like the Wet n Wild one. That's only like $3, but I did get this one from a friend, and I have used it a little bit, and I do like how it just smooths out the lid and gets rid of any of the discoloration on them. Alright, probably the biggest favorite of the month is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette, and that is what it looks like. I have used it quite a bit, more of the shimmer shades, and definitely like the shade over here. I do really like this. I don't like the shade Lucid, just because it's really like fallout glittery and not really a nice smooth thing. It definitely has a lot of fallout, and it just is kind of chunky, so I definitely don't like that shade. And I do like the Sphere shade. It's definitely like a bright yellow, but it's definitely original. I don't have that already in my collection, so I think it's super cool. The other shades blend out really nicely, and they do last all day without doing any fallout on the lid or anything, so this is definitely by far my favorite palette that I've been using for a month and a half-ish. Alright, so the next palette is the Moon Dust palette from Urban Decay, and I do have to use a glitter glue and everything, and it does pack really nicely onto the lid. So this is, I haven't used it a lot, but all the shades that I have used, which is Element, Magnetic, Light Year, Galaxy, and Granite. So I haven't used the Spectre, which is the pink shade, which I just don't care much for pink, so I'm never going to really use that one. Lithium I have swatched, and it's definitely really pretty. It's like a brown with some specks of purple and silver. And then Vega I have used in combination with Galaxy, so just haven't used it all over the lid. But these are definitely really good, especially if you just use them with a glitter glue. You can't just put them right on the lid and expect them to be good, but definitely pack it on with some Fix Plus, spray it on the brush, and use the glitter glue, and they last all day without any fallout. And the next palette that I really liked is the Illuminate Cosmetics one by Ashley Tisdale that I did a whole review on as well, but the main shades that I do gravitate towards are these purple ones. The other shades are good, but I've just mainly been using this palette for these purple shades, and I just do like how those look. I've been using this quite a bit, and you can kind of tell by the indents in them, but yeah, this one is really good, and it's not expensive at all, so I do recommend this one. Alright, now I have two products that are just kind of like in between. They were just kind of alright that I got, and they are 2 palettes actually. So the first one is the Take Me to Brazil palette from BH Cosmetics, and I have used quite the shades. I've used these 2 orange ones, the yellows, the greens, the purples. I have tried most of them except for the pinks because I don't care much for pink, and I have used the black and the shimmer down here. This white one is like a greenish white, so I haven't really played with that one too much, but the shades are just kind of alright. They blend out pretty good, but they're not super pigmented, so you have to use a lot of the actual shadow. I do like that it isn't super expensive, and it is workable, but it's just kind of alright. I would really want to try that Morphe one that has all the colors and then kind of compare them and tell you guys which one is better. But if you're just starting out, kind of how I was a long time ago, I bought their 120 color palettes, but I wanted to try something different, and this one had good reviews. It's just kind of alright. I don't really recommend it unless you know that you're going to use these all the time, because they're not pigmented enough for me. The next one is, sadly, the Laura Lee palette. I just don't think that they go well together. Like, the browns don't really blend out well with the more purples. I wish one of these was matte, because these 2 shades are pretty similar, so I wish one of them would have been matte so I can get like a dark, intense crease without it being shimmery. I did use this palette today, and I do like it, but I just kind of wish that this was matte and that this was more of a tan and less of a white, because it's definitely very stark white, and I don't care much for those shadows, but everything else is nice. The shimmer shades, you definitely have to use Max Fix Plus if you want to get a lot of pigment out of them, but it's just kind of alright. For 40 bucks, I don't think it's worth $40 at all. I think this is more of a 25-ish, 30 max like amount of money. Definitely not 40, and that's kind of why I don't recommend the overall, just because $40 is a lot, but they are good if you do like these colors. It's definitely more of a, I just wish one of these purple shades was matte. That's all I want, but it's okay. I don't regret buying it, but if I ever run out, which would happen, but if I ever run out or it breaks or anything, I don't think I would repurchase it. Alright, and now we are into my hate-its. So the first thing is actually this Stay Matte Primer. It's not a bad primer. The primer is really good, but it breaks me out so bad. And I did use quite a bit of the tube before I realized that this was what was breaking me out, because I did go to a new face wash, and so it took me a while to realize it was this. So besides that, it's really good if it doesn't affect you, but overall, I don't like to get acne, so I'm going to avoid this in the future, definitely. Alright, and the last thing is this CoverGirl So Lashy Mascara. I have a whole review on it that just went up on Monday, and I hate it, like, so bad. It's really hard to apply, and it just is. The wand itself, I feel, could have been better if this flat side would have been longer, but the mascara itself is a bad formula. It flakes on me, and it just doesn't want to hold a curl. Like, it'll hold a curl for like 2 hours, and then it's done. It's like, I'm dead. And it's just really bad. I have a whole review, but it didn't hold a curl, it didn't apply well, it flaked, it smudged. I don't like it. It went on the upper lash line and smudged, so that was weird. Not on the lower, but the upper. So I just would say stay away from this. It's almost like 10 bucks. Just get the Essence one that I said before, and it's like 5. So don't recommend this at all. Alrighty guys, that is the end of this video. If you want to see more favorites and hate-its, I can definitely post a bit more. If you want to see more content from me, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.